Hello, I'm Nathan Tudor. I'm here with Wolves reporter Mr. Joe Edwards. Joe, Bournemouth 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Talk about a game of two halves, but look, most important thing is the fifth in the table. They've got 3 points in the game. I think they deserved it, especially in that first half. What happened in the second half? Don't know what happened. It's never easy, is it?
It's never easy, but it was entertaining. And that first half, blimey,
goodness,
was awesome.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, and I haven't seen Wolves so free-flowing and excellent for a good while. And that's saying something, because they have put in some superb performances this season. Man City, obviously the standout, but that first half,
that was total football there.
Liquid football.
Yeah. Oh yes, pure gold.
To quote my predecessor, filth.
Oh, filth. There we go.
It was
filth.
It was filth.
It was amazing. It was great to watch.
Yeah, it was. And Martinho pulling the strings. And a sumptuous opener, that free kick, tight angle.
Yeah.
It's not a cross.
No.
It's not a cross that's gone in. He's looked for the far corner. He's found it perfectly. Yeah. And then a piece of brilliance in the lead up to the second as well from Martinho, just spotting Traore on the shoulder, releasing him, perfectly weighted pass. Then he squares it to him in a simple tap in, and then Francis got sent off as well, and he thought, this could be a cricket score. Wasn't quite that in the end.
No,
a bit more
no.
anxious than we thought it would be, but 3 points on the board, 8 unbeaten, 2 wins on the spin, 5th in the table. Lovely stuff.
And look, that first half, I mean, like you said, they scored the 2 goals, but goodness me, the chances they had, and just like you said, the level of football they created. I mean, this Bournemouth side have been, they've had some decent seasons here, but they were made to look like a League One side. Honestly, at the time they were cut open. Jota was back to his sumptuous best as well. That was a great sign. Like you say, Moutinho pulling the strings. I mean, Raul didn't have to do too much, but I mean, Adama Traore, and when we talk about him, I think that was his 8th or 9th assist of the season already today. I mean, just absolutely sensational, especially in the first half. The only thing was, like you say, they didn't score more, which was a shame. But I can't remember a game, I don't think, of 45 minutes of football that I've enjoyed more than that.
It was met against boys, it really was, and it was so dominant from Wolves. I mean, the Wolves fans were singing, "Are you Walsall in disguise?"
Yeah.
And fair play, because Bournemouth did look like leagues apart. Wolves were by far superior. Wolves were by far superior. They were all over him. As we say, the second half is slightly disappointing.
What happened second half then, do you think? Because,
I think it changes for Bournemouth.
You think, I think that changed it?
Yeah, that Danjuma who came off for Bournemouth looked a good player. Lerma's a bit erratic in the middle of the park, but he adds a bit more needle in there, a bit more fight. The crowd got behind him as well, fair play to him. But Wolves really dug in, and in that second half, for me, probably Dendon could have stand out in the second half. I'm really liking him on the right to the back three. I know I said a few weeks ago that I still prefer him in midfield. I think my mind might well have been changed now, because the way he's performing there, obviously signed initially with the idea that he'd be playing in that position.
Yeah, of course,
I think if he carries on like this, I think he's got that position nailed down in the long run now, because if he carries on performing like that, I don't think Ryan Bennett's going to get back in.
But at the same time, and look, I don't want to criticise Wolves too much, because that was a great performance, and 3 points coming here after such a long time without coming to to Bournemouth without a win. It is brilliant. But at the same time, when you're down to 10 men, you're 2-0 up, you shouldn't really be hanging on at times, which is what they were doing in the second half, especially when conceding the goal, which I think was a sloppy goal to give away, really. That's the frustrating thing, I guess, to come out of this game. They've still got some good players, Paul. They're going to put pressure on, but when you're 2-0 up, down to 10 men, you shouldn't really having to be in that situation.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating, and we are kind of splitting hairs. But when you're talking about top-level teams, which Wolves are now, you've kind of got to do
kill
that.
It off, yeah.
And that goal with Cook, he gets ahead of his marker. It's a good header, but it's avoidable.
Yeah.
And then Patricio has to make a save towards the end from Ake, and the crowd were really on the feet, anticipating an equaliser. That was perhaps a little bit unnecessary, but as we say, it's another win on the board. Wolves are 5th in the table.
Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely astonishing.
It is, and it really puts into perspective that last season, wasn't just a one-off. We knew it. We suspected it wouldn't be, but I did kind of think 7's probably out of reach. But
yes, you did. What, on the podcast this week, you were poo-pooing it.
I know.
What are you doing? Not going to happen. But
they can do it. They really can. They really can. They're just quality. And yes, the depth isn't quite there, but this starting 11 is a match for any team in this country and any team in Europe, as we've seen so far, really. So Wolves winning ways again, and you know, this is a really good afternoon. The first half, yes, much better than the second, you'd say. But that first half, as Nuno said, is the template to work on moving forward. They were absolutely sensational, so fingers crossed they can continue.
Yeah, and look, they haven't really a track record of coming back from international breaks and been disappointing. So again, that's been broken as well.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it was the Chelsea game, wasn't it? That 5-2 loss at Molineux, that was abysmal. And that was after the international break. And that really was the game that kind of sparked Wolves into life. It was the kick up the backside they really needed. And since then, out unbeaten in the Premier League. Obviously, you know, 1 foot in the knockout stage of the Europa League. And you can't question Wolves' resilience. That was a real dampening day. It was the 130th anniversary of Molineux, things like that. It was a real kick in the teeth. But fair play to Wolves. Have really responded and they're going from strength to strength. So well done to the lads.
And it's, you know, it's just a crap season, isn't it? Because like I say, 5th in the table, and you go into the Europa League, you go into 1 point needed to get into the knockout stage. You're going to Braga on Thursday now.
I know.
Terrible, boring.
Rubbish.
You might as well not turn up.
I know. Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it, yes. Fantastic afternoon/evening. Bournemouth 1, Wolves 2 for all the post-match reaction. Make sure you log on to expressandStar.com.